Good afternoon, Ma'am Joy.
Okay, be seated. For our first activity, I want you to measure this table using your hand. And after that, you need to compare it to your seatmate. Now, I will give you only 1 minute to do the task. And after that, we will tackle about more about our topic. Alright, can you please tell us what did you observe to our topic already?
Ma'am, I observed that my measurements with my hands is not the same as my classmates' measurements.
Okay, very good. And why did you think that our measurement with our hands is different from the other person? Yes, ma'am?
Because ma'am, my fingers, especially my pinky finger and my thumb,
Yes.
is not equally has length on my classmates' hands.
Okay, very good. Do you think it is accurate?
No.
No. Why?
Grabe.
Because it's snow.
Okay, because it's no. Now, I have here a video presentation for us to really understand why measurement is really important in our daily lives. So, I want you to watch and observe about this topic because later on we will having an activity, group activity, that can help us to really understand and analyze our topic for today.
What does the French Revolution have to do with the time NASA accidentally crashed a $200 million orbiter into the surface of Mars? Actually, everything. That crash happened due to an error in converting between two measurement systems, U.S. customary units and their SI or metric equivalents. So what's the connection to the French Revolution? Let's explain. For the majority of recorded human history, units like the weight of a grain or the length of a hand weren't exact and varied from place to place. And different regions didn't just use varying measurements, they had completely different number systems as well. By the late Middle Ages, the Hindu-Arabic decimal system mostly replaced Roman numerals and fractions in Europe. But efforts by scholars like John Wilkins to promote standard decimal-based measures were less successful. With 250,000 different units in France alone, any widespread change would require massive disruption. And in 1789, that disruption came. The leaders of the French Revolution didn't just overthrow the monarchy. They sought to completely transform society according to the rational principles of the Enlightenment. When the new government took power, the Academy of Sciences convened to reform the system of measurements. Old standards based on arbitrary authority or local traditions were replaced with mathematical and natural relationships. For example, the meter, from the Greek word for measure, was defined as 1/10,000,000th between the equator and North Pole. And the new metric system was, in the words of the Marquis de Condorcet, for all people, for all time. Standardizing measurements had political advantages for the revolutionaries as well. Nobles could no longer manipulate local units to extract more rent from commoners, while the government could collect taxes more efficiently. And switching to a new republican calendar with 10-day weeks reduced church power by eliminating Sundays. Adoption of this new system wasn't easy. In fact, it was a bit of a mess. At first, people used new units alongside old ones, and the republican calendar was eventually abandoned. When Napoleon Bonaparte took power, he allowed small businesses to use traditional measurements, redefined in metric terms. But the metric system remained standard for formal use, and it spread across the continent along with France's borders. While Napoleon's empire lasted 8 years, its legacy endured far longer. Some European countries reverted to old measurements upon independence. Others realized the value of standardization in an age of international trade. After Portugal and the Netherlands switched to metric voluntarily, other nations followed, with colonial empires spreading the system around the world. As France's main rival, Britain had resisted revolutionary ideas and retained its traditional units. But over the next 2 centuries, the British Empire slowly transitioned, first approving the metric system as an optional alternative before gradually making it official. However, this switch came too late for 13 former colonies that had already gained independence. The United States of America stuck with the English units of its colonial past, and today remains one of only 3 countries which haven't fully embraced the metric system. Despite constant initiatives for metrication, many Americans consider units like feet and pounds more intuitive. And ironically, some regard the once revolutionary metric system as a symbol of global conformity. Nevertheless, the metric system is almost universally used in science and medicine, and it continues to evolve according to its original principles. For a long time, standard units were actually defined by carefully maintained physical prototypes. But thanks to improving technology and precision, these objects with limited access and unreliable longevity are now being replaced with standards based on universal constants, like the speed of light. Consistent measurements are such an integral part of our daily lives that it's hard to appreciate what a major accomplishment for humanity they've been. And just as it arose from a political revolution, the metric system remains crucial for the scientific revolutions to come.
Understand the video presentation?
Yes.
Okay, now you need to make an analysis about the video that I presented you a while ago, and you need to share it in front of the class as a newscaster. So I will group you into 2 groups with 2 members, of course, and you may now start. Okay, please count 1, 2.
1, 2.
Okay, now proceed to your group. And start to analyze.
Doon sa harap kayo unang mag-present eh. Kayo unang mag-present.
Make an analysis and talk about how the metric system affects our growth, or what is the importance.
Sige, okay lang yan.
Oh, give you just 1 minute to talk. Okay, are you ready, guys?
Not yet.
Okay. Okay. Are you ready, guys?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Who wants to share the observation first? The first group? Group 1? Can you please go in front of the class and share?
First, last. But stop muna eh. Pause mo muna kayo. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat, ang mga nanonood sa TV. Yung! Hindi po, may kasama ba? Partner kong si Ses. Kamusta ka, Ses? Okay lang. Ngayon po, nandito kami sa isang pader kung saan nakasulat ang mga metric measurement. 3,000 BC pa daw po ito nagsimula, pero dito na English ang sulat at malinaw ang numero. At ito na nga, babasahin ito ng aking partner para patunayan na ang measurement na ito ay kapareho ng ginagamit natin ngayon. Yes, partner, pakibasa nga nakasulat sa itaas.
Like the metric system.
Metric system na rin pala ang tawag ng mga caveman noon. Isa pa.
1,000 millimeters equal to 1 meter.
Kung tutuusin, ang sukat na ito ay pareho talaga sa ginagamit natin sa lugar ngayon, di ba, partner? At kami po ay nag-uulat mula dito sa New Zealand. Maraming salamat po. Bye!
Go! Okay, very good, group 1. Can we give them a
Yay!
applause?
DJ.
your analyzation as Miss Cassie.
Go, Lutu! Go, Lutu! Papos muna, sapa! Magandang hapon, mga kapamilya. Sa inyong bagong kabanat, pangyayari na hindi inaasa. Ating pusubaybayan, dito lang. Sin of the Prime, of Earth. Noong munang panahon ka, ayon sa mga saksi, maraming nakakita, nakaalam, nakadiskubre. Ang tawag natin yun, ang metric system. Ayon sa mga pilosopo, walang paghahanap, turang haba, ng isang bagay, ay nakakagulat. Dahil, wala itong diskubre sa paraan, di nila inaasahan. Mali ang naging balita ng unang report. Dahil ito ay nalaman noong 400 BCE, before coins. Ating alamin, tunay na pangyayari dahil sa inspektor, SPO1, inspektor. Ano ka?
Isang libong milimetro, lalaki isang metro. Yun lang.
Yan po ang totoong nangyari sa istorya ng kabanata ng ating palabas ngayon. Abangan ang mga susunod na storya sa susunod na linggo sa Sin of the Prime, Opera. Anyong
Okay, very good class. Can we give them a round of applause? Ayan, so very creative.
ano pong diameter niyo?
Okay, now let's proceed. Again, the length in the metric system is 1,000 millimeter is equals to 1 meter. Can we please read? 1, 2, 3. Go.
100 centimeter is equal to 1 meter. 10 decimeters is equal to 1 meter. 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meter. 1 kilogram is equal to 1,000 grams. 1 liter is equal to 1,000 ml.
Okay, very good. And now for our individual activity, I have here a data table that you need to complete. Okay, using this metric system, you need to convert each measurement that is given to this answer sheet. So now, please get one and pass. I will give you only 2 minutes to do that activity, and after that, you will check it. You may now start. Okay, class, do you understand our lesson?
Yes!
Is there any other questions? None.
None.
If none, goodbye, class.
Goodbye and thank you, Ma'am Joy.